Manga production is difficult. The amount of effort and skill you need just to create an illustration already takes up a chunk of your time. Now imagine that same process, but triple it. Paneling, line art, poses, and so much more. Seems tiring, right? Well, you see, when it comes to making manga, it isn't just the art that hooks people in. There are countless of mangas out there that has already incredibly good art, and yet no one reads it. Why? Well, it all goes down to storytelling. The story is the bread and butter of your comic. If you can't tell a good story, then you technically failed a huge part. One, the creator of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho, is the perfect example. His art wasn't the best, and yet Yusuke Murata, one of the most insane manga artists, saw potential in his story. And guess what? It became one of the most read mangas in the world. He also improved his art over the years. Needless to say, there's a lot of room for improvement. Storytelling and art goes hand in hand in manga production. But how do I practice storytelling? Do I just make manga and draw in hopes that it gets good? Well, first, you have to start writing, of course. And second, start with something small, like short comics or 4 commas. Anything that doesn't require much time. Focus on studying how to make your readers invested with both the art and the story. Which is why I decided to work on a miniseries with a friend to practice my fundamentals, storytelling, and maybe develop an art style. Writing down your ideas is the very first thing you want to do. Without a clear vision on what you're supposed to be drawing, you'll have a hard time piecing the parts together. Whether it's your OC or your favorite character from a show or video game, you have to make something exist first before fleshing it out. It doesn't have to be something complicated. It can really come from anything. And you definitely don't have to do it alone. You can start writing ideas with a friend or someone close to you. Hatsu, does this mean you started writing stories now? I didn't know you're an author. Well, no. Although I am in the works for my own thing, for this one specifically, the story that I'll be drawing was written by QM Aiko. And things are looking far more organized now than it was during the process of making it, since things were constantly being changed and added. But that's just how it works. This entire project is built to create something for everyone, and to help me practice my skills. Since Aiko already wrote the story, all I have to do now is to figure out how to make this imaginative characters into something you can see. Also, just to give out context for the entire story, this miniseries follows along the life of a vampire living in the modern world. Nothing too explosive, cause I can't just start busting out fight scenes out of my pockets. For now, it's just a wholesome slice of life vibe. I'll be posting one episode monthly, either from my Twitter or Instagram. So if you want to check it out, feel free to take a visit. Before you start building your comic or webtoon, you have to get some concepts laid out first. It's like a blueprint, because we can't just blindly gamble what the characters will look like. I mean, we can, but we're not gonna, because we're smart. The first character I started working on was Sephiru, and she's apparently a vampire. Unemployed vampire. So like always, we first gathered up some references on Pinterest, slapped them on a file, and start smashing ideas to see what we can cook. Look, I tried my best to make her look unique as much as I can, since concepts is usually the part where you experiment with things, and I wanted her to be recognizable in her own way. Also, just a gentle reminder while drawing. Don't forget to flip your canvas. I mean, look at this. Really had to fix that. Trust me, if it looks wrong when you flip it, then there's definitely something wrong with it in general. Boom! First character done. Okay, it may seem easy, but trust me, I was in shambles since I didn't know what she was supposed to look like. The only idea I had for her was giving her a suit along with a tired expression. So I technically just gambled and got an S tier pull. Godspeed to whatever I'm pulling. Moving on, the second character I worked on was Sweetie, and she's a kid. Yeah. Surprisingly, this one hit the mark, and I managed to get the concept done in a few tries. And for the very last character is Miss Holly. Yet again, I had to clench my guts for this one. All I knew about her is that she was a woman who works. So I literally gambled once again, asked a few details from the author, and ended up with a pretty nice outcome. A piece of advice when making concepts is to make sure that their descriptions actually fit what they're supposed to look like. Think hard on what features should be gone and what should stay. Paneling is an important part as it adds to your storytelling. Depending on what you're going for, your panels can vary from simple to straight up absurd. But since this is just for practice, we won't be doing anything too crazy, so I began sketching the poses. And avoid putting in details way too early, because once you start adding them, there's no turning back. Mostly focus on constructing your ideas first before you execute. An example of this is the birdhouse that I drew. I first blocked out the idea, then added the shapes, then finally the details. That way you have more freedom if you ever want to change something. Moving forward, I continued drawing on each panel, filling in the features. This is the part where your concept and your character design kicks in. If you manage to finish your concept, it's going to be much easier to know whether your character looks like the actual character you created. As you guys can see, everything is starting to piece together. Though I had trouble drawing the rice and hands considering I have never tried drawing food, and at the same time I haven't properly studied hands. So it took a while, but I managed to finish it eventually. Finally, the last panel. This one was a piece of cake, as all I have to do was to draw a proper side view of the characters while they do their daily routine. And we're technically all set. I was contemplating whether or not I should add line art. But since I'm lazy and line art takes centuries to finish, I decided to stay with the sketch and polish it. It's really up to you at this point on what you want to do. Besides that, my friend wanted the comic colored, so I started adding in flat colors. I didn't exactly document everything, since what I initially planned was a plain, clean sketch, because that's how comics usually look like. But you know, all is well since I managed to finish it in due time. There are a lot of things I need to improve, especially in coloring, shading, clothing, and the poses, since right now, it isn't as expressive as it looks. It's a well done comic, yes, but for me, it looks stiff and plain. I even had trouble figuring out the proper skin tone for the characters, to the point I had my friend sending hex codes just to find a good one. But don't worry, as this series goes on, you'll see this entire comic transform as we practice this together. So I finished up the colors and changed up a couple of things, and then shifted it off to Aiko so he could post it. Overall, this project was a challenge, even for a literal 4-panel comic. I also plan to maybe include line art in the next chapter and add some awesome manga screen tones, but we'll see. Anyhow, I think that's it. I know I've been kind of busy lately due to the workload I've had for the past few months, but I'll strive to further share what I've learned with you all. If you guys have any critics or suggestions, I definitely would love to hear it. I hope this video inspired you guys to further create things, and I'll see you all soon.